In this video, I'm going to demonstrate how to make a Hawk Tail Whisk broom with these widely spaced wraps zigzagging up the broom and a wrapped handle. This is almost the exact same method of construction as this Hawk Tail Whisk with tight wraps all the way up, but it's a little more challenging to get all of these wraps to be evenly spaced. So I recommend starting out with a tightly wrapped version first. Before we begin, you want to make sure you have your ripcord, your leather hanging loop, and a sharp pair of scissors within arm's reach. My broom corn is already separated out, following the instructions in the video on how to make a Hawk Tail Whisk. And my string is on my foot bobbin. I want to ensure the string is coming from under the foot bobbin on the side closest to me. I'm going to start this broom by making 2 overhand knots near the end of the string. I'm going to grab my first bundle of broom corn, which is the largest. And I'm going to start this broom a little bit more than a hand's width from the sweep end of the broom. So probably around there. I'm going to tuck that knot inside the broom corn. And then I'm going to make about 2 wraps around very loosely. If I pull too tight at this point, the knot will just pop right out of the broom corn. So once I have it wrapped around a couple times, now I'm going to pull up almost as tight as I can on this string. Now I'm going to continue wrapping till there's 3 wraps on the back, and then 2 wraps on the front, and I'm going to start angling the string up. I'm going to use my index finger to hold that string in place. I'm going to grab my next bundle, tuck that under the string, and I'm going to move my index finger to the outside of that next bundle and maintain that angle on that string. A few things to think about as I add each bundle of broom corn. The first is trying to maintain keep the broom corn about even on the sweep end of the broom and not worry as much about the handle end because we're going to cut that off. The next thing is to try to keep each bundle as its own little group off to the side as you build the broom out. Don't let it engulf the bundles before. Now I'm going to give a half turn. And on this side of the broom, I'm going to try to bring that string back so it's parallel to this first band of 3 wraps around. And now I'm going to grab my next bundle of broom corn and tuck it under the string on the opposite side that I added that first bundle. Now when I do a next turn, I'm going to try to bring that string back so it meets the point of where I angled the string up. So now I have that nice N formation. I'm going to continue wrapping until I have 3 wraps on the back and 2 on the front. And then I'm going to angle that string up again, using my index finger to hold it in place and trying to match that angle of the first wrap around. I'm going to take my next bundle, tuck it under, doing my best to match up this end and keep it off to the side. And then I'm going to do another half turn and add my next bundle. I'm going to continue wrapping so that I have 3 wraps on the back, 2 on the front, bringing that string back to meet the tip of the angle up so we have another N, and that zigzag pattern is starting to form. Again, on the back, I'm trying to maintain equidistance between each of my wraps and keep them parallel. I'm going to continue in this manner, adding my bundles of broom corn until I run out of broom corn. Alright, so I've just added my last bundle of broom corn, and here I have to make a decision about whether I'm going to continue up the broom handle using the same pattern I used on the sweep part of the broom, the 2 wraps around, angle up, 2 wraps around, angle up, or I can add a thicker band at the beginning and end of the handle to differentiate it from the rest of the broom. On this one, I'm just going to continue that same pattern all the way up the handle. So I'm going to wrap around, so there's 2 wraps in the front, 3 in the back, and I'm going to angle that broom corn up, or that string up again, trying to continue to maintain the same angle as I had on the sweep part of the broom. Alright, so I'm going to finish my broom on this set of wraps. So I'm going to grab my hanging loop, tuck that under the string, and then right next to the hanging loop, I'm going to tuck in my ripcord. I'm going to place that under the string so that the loop is towards the handle end and the handle of the ripcord is towards the sweep end of the broom. And now I'm going to wrap 4 or 5 times around to ensure that this hanging loop is well attached. Alright, that's my last wrap. So now I'm going to clamp my thumb down on this gold colored string, make sure that I don't lose all my tension. I'm going to cut the string to about 3 to 4 inches, slide that through the loop in the ripcord, and while holding tension down with my thumb still, I'm going to pull that ripcord down through, and now the string is cinched under those last 4 wraps, and I can cut it off fairly close. Now you'll notice that this broom is quite a bit narrower than the example broom. So now what we're going to do is fan that broom corn out. And broom corn is has a pretty good memory. So as you fan it out, after you fan it a couple times, I would fan it, let it sit a while, fan it again, let it sit a while, fan it again, and by the 3rd time, it should really hold its form. So once you have it fanned out as much as you'd like, you can come back with scissors and trim up that sweep end so that it's even. And then you can watch the video on the different methods of how to finish the top of the handle and remove the rest of this broom corn using one of those methods. And here you have a Hawk Tail Whisk broom with spaced wraps and a wrapped handle.